Day 4, people, and I'm gonna be letting you know what's the biggest mistake I've made. Day 4, people. Tell the people who you are. Lucas, yeah, baby, he's my helper. We're gonna be working on basically going our list down to 0, and I'm gonna be letting you know what's the biggest mistake I've made in my Etsy journey. So stick around, find out. Everybody wants to start with the biggest, baddest, meanest machine out there, and that's one of the things that I didn't do. So I think looking back, that was one of the successful traits my shop had, because I started with this machine, which was only like 1,500, 1,800 by that time. I could have started with a bigger machine, but the thing is that I went into the practical side because I was shipping only items that were at the longest 30 inches. So if I were to ship items that were gonna be larger, then I would have needed another machine. But then again, since I'm from Puerto Rico, it's not in my best interest to ship really big things, because whenever I did my Etsy research, I noticed that items would ship best and most economical if they were like 22, 23 inches. So that's why I always do the same type of size. I can do larger signs upon request, but that's not in my main interest, because since the most part of my shipping is USPS, they will not allow me to like ship really big or really heavy items. I think it's like 36 inches max. So the largest sign I do is 30 inches. But the biggest mistake I did was that I purchased this machine. And not just that I purchased it, it was more that when I purchased the machine, I changed my mentality, and now I wanted to cut other people's jobs. And I started not focusing on my shop. I started focusing on just cutting in. Since people paid me cash for, like, hey, I want this letters, I want this sign, I want these logos, whatever. Well, I would charge like a flat fee per for each sheet, like 50, 60, 70 bucks a sheet, and I would see that money coming in, and I was like, oh wow, this is good. That didn't help my Etsy shop, because I started to like leave on one side my Etsy shop and my Amazon store and my Shopify and my socials, just to make instant money. So if you're on the fence upon upgrading your equipment, it doesn't have to be your CNC. I wouldn't recommend that you change what's working, because in my case, that machine, it would have left me with another source of income, but it would have to be like linearly, because not every day you cut a panel, but every day you receive Etsy orders. So I think if I were to do it again, I would have not purchased the machine. I would have purchased two Shapocos or two Winfinities, or Winfinity, in my opinion, is a machine to go. I haven't owned one. I would love to review one, but I haven't gotten a chance to do it. So anyways, if you're thinking about upgrading your machine, just think about like the consequences first, because you don't want to have your machine change your mentality of what's working. That's not the way to go. If you can do it with something that's smaller and leaner, I would recommend you do that, because this machine, the thing is that I keep on shipping the same types of item, the same types of size. So even though it is a big machine, I only use like this little part of it, or this part of it, or this part of it. So it's not like I can put the whole board in the machine and make 4 signs, because I don't have a vacuum table. I mean, it's vacuum ready, but it's not like with vacuum. So that's gonna be really hard to do. So anyways, that's what I recommend. I mean, this is a whole nother ball game, which I would have preferred this machine, which is like, I would have bought 2 machines of these instead of one of these. But the good part is that I can do really big things. The only problem is that people don't care about the quality for the stuff that they usually cut on the island. For example, it's usually like just PVC signage and just like lettering. So you could cut that with either a jigsaw, or you could cut that with a Chinese made machine. But I don't mill or I don't cut anything else. it affected me because sales, whenever sales start, like I said yesterday, whenever people start messaging you because of the challenges you have, people start questioning you, and people start not. I mean, there was one instance that people questioned whether my shop was real or not because I would mark the labels as shipped and then like send it 2 or 3 days later. So it didn't update. And if by a bad chance of fate the mailman didn't scan those labels, people would think that I was like ripping them off or something. So I mean it. I basically blame this machine. It's easy to blame other stuff, but now I gotta take responsibility and build sales up again because there was one point where I was selling like 22 items a day. Wow. And now it comes to the point where I'm selling like maybe 6, 7 items a day. So that's a really big hit for me. So, Lucas, you got something to say? Say hi, mom. Hi, mom.
Hi, Mom.
I love you.
I love you.
See, now you're a YouTuber like me. He starts school on Tuesday, so. Well, oh my god. Mom, don't see that, please. So, right now, this machine is stopped. That's another thing I noticed, that it's easier for me to just leave this machine running all day because it's, for me, it's more precise, the machine, because of the screw. And then again, it's like farthest away from my sound. So, I mean, maybe it wasn't an error. Maybe it's because I originally thought that this machine would be bought and I would start making like PVC signs like these, which I haven't started. So maybe time will give me another difference like this. See, that's PVC, which is painted, which I haven't put on my Etsy shop. And in that case, I could just put like the whole PVC sheet on the machine. But then again, I don't have a lot of space for me to store the PVC because if I don't store it like totally flat, it will start like bending, and then and then it will carve. Since I don't have a vacuum, it will lay like this on the machine, like the same thing that happens with wood. So that's one thing to consider if you're thinking about buying a really big machine. I would have purchased it with vacuum, but because of the electricity requirements, I don't have those requirements in my shop. I would have to get another shop. So that's one thing to consider that nobody tells you, because this machine right here can use a small compressor, but this machine here needs a bigger air compressor. Right now for that machine I use this Husky, which I know it's not recommended, but I have an air filter, which I'll get to that in another video. So I hope that helps. Let me know what you guys have for your machines. I'm gonna start talking about lasers later on, but for now, let's just cover all the CNC topics. Hope your Etsy sales are going up, everybody. I really hope so. Valentine's is just around the corner, and look, I just made this new sign, which was an order request, but since I'm light on my job work list, I just said yeah that I could do it. So now I'm just gonna take a picture and I'll just put it on my website, on my Etsy, and my website and my Amazon. The good thing about making small signs like these is that you can just use all your scraps, and that's, even though you sell them at a cheaper price because it's smaller than my average size, you could just literally make total profit of it because the only thing you need to waste is your time making it and your machine time. It's not like you're wasting material. So it's not a lot of money, but it adds up. Believe me, it adds up. Little by little, it keeps on adding up and adding up and adding up. And at the end of the year, you have a five, six, $7,000 income just off scraps. So just try it. Let me know. I'm gonna be making it. I'm gonna be updating you. I haven't updated you yet on my sales or my listings because I really haven't gotten a chance to put in. The kids were with me all these days. My wife already started working, and literally I had the kids. So God bless you. So that's that. That's a wrap. That's day 3. You guys let me know if you need anything. Like always, I'm available. Peace.